Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not, as that may be meant for someone else. All right, so we're going to get some tarot. We're going to look at what you may be struggling with. We're going to look at current energies, what you need to look at, or what you may be feeling, and then we're going to look at future energies for future energies that may possibly be coming in for you. All right. For some reason, I was thinking of using a fortune reading card to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, to start with that. If you are interested in any of the cards that I am using, please feel free to check the links below. All right. Capricorn, what may you be struggling with? I'm struggling with getting over COVID. My hearing is muffled. It's very annoying. So I may speak louder than normal because I have a hard time hearing. I'm hoping that goes away soon. All right. So what you may possibly be struggling with: key, new beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past. So it could be that you are holding on to something from the past that is preventing you from using that key to move towards the future. Whoa. Okay. So this card came flying out, and we have the Empress, and she can represent that growth. She represents birth, fertility. She represents growing. She represents coming into your own power. Ace of Cups, relationships, the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you have with others. Is there a relationship that you're holding on to? Is it a relationship that you have children with, maybe? Is that something that, for some reason, that just came into my mind? So it could be that there's a relationship that you're holding on to. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, which is that good, positive, new energy. But I feel like that's what you're struggling with, is newness. It could be something that you were in a relationship with someone for a long time, and then now it's not there anymore, and you're trying to deal with, how do I move past this? Because you were kind of used to that everyday routine and that regularity of it. Current energies: Judgment, Four of Wands, King of Wands. Future energy: Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and the World. Bottom of the cup, bottom of the cup. Having trouble focusing, but we'll get through it. Bottom of the deck, Five of Cups. So definitely, I feel that that's what you're struggling with: relationships, emotions, feelings. It could be that you're in a current relationship and that maybe you're just holding on to something that maybe happened in the past that you're not able to let go of. Because here we have, right here, focusing on the Three Spill Cups instead of focusing on the relationship. Sometimes we get so caught up in other energies that we're kind of missing what's going on around us. And I feel like, yes, you need those times to work through things and process things, but I feel like just be aware that you don't spend a lot of time focusing on those things, because I feel like time just goes by so quickly. And it's like, don't waste that time that you have with someone or yourself. Like, don't waste it focusing on negativity. Don't waste it focusing on the Three Spilt Cups. Because you never know what could happen, like at any moment. Like, something could happen and can change everything. And you don't want to say, oh, I've spent so much time being angry and holding on to grudges and being irritated with someone and being mad at someone and wanting to make them pay for, hurting me, or me trying to keep focusing on things that aren't important, that I've lost all that time. I just feel like that's something that, make sure that you're aware of that. And I feel that with this judgment card here, I feel like it's kind of opened your eyes. That current energy is opening your eyes to what you do have and focus on the positive that you do have, and working together as a partnership within this relationship, and realizing that, yeah, nobody's perfect. Like, no matter what kind of relationship that you have, that no one is perfect. There's going to be those moments where you're going to disagree, you're going to argue, you're going to fight, you're not going to see eye to eye. And to not waste that time being angry about those conflicts that you're having. Future energies, Wheel of Fortune, change, Queen of Pentacles, getting back to that friendship within the relationship, Two of Wands. I almost feel like you're starting out on a new path, and definitely a positive one because we have the World card there. But I feel like it's definitely just being aware of, are you holding on to something that's stopping those new beginnings and those directions and those adventures, right? And here you're ready to go on those adventures. You're ready to start new things within this relationship, or if it's a relationship that you're holding on to that is past energy, that you're like, yeah, I'm going to let that go because I want to focus on the good and the positive, and that I'm wasting a lot of time trying to get my ex back, or trying to figure out what went wrong or what's going on. And sometimes you just have to let things go and just be settled within yourself and say, okay, like, I may never know the answers to that, or that may never happen for me, but I'm okay because I'm going to move forward and I'm going to start new adventures, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to focus on the Two of Cups there. The card that's standing out for me is this Judgment card, is that awakening and that renewal and that revival and seeing things. And I feel like the universe is trying to show you, hey, don't waste time on unimportant things. Yes, you have to process things, but just be aware of how much time are you spending on those things. We have Nine of Pentacles, the good things, the positive things, focusing on what it is that you do have, moving forward, those happy, positive, like thinking forward, handling those things that you need to handle that are more difficult, or letting go of those things that are negative, right? Let those things go. King of Pentacles, that grounding energy, that stability, that determination. You have to make the choices and you have to make the changes within your life. It's up to you. It's your perspective. How do you see it? How do you see the world? What do you see the world as? It might just be a really fun thing or an interesting thing to take a piece of paper and you say, how do I see the world? And write all of those words down that you're feeling or you're seeing. It doesn't even have to make sense. It could just be getting that out there and kind of looking at that and say, okay, and then looking at is, do I put down positive words? Do I put down negative words? What is it that I'm seeing, and where is there places that I can readjust that? I feel like it's more about figuring out about your own perspective and how you see things and truly how you're feeling. I feel like people just kind of go through the motions, and we're all concerned about other people and their feelings and what's going on with them, which is important. I'm not disregarding that, but I almost feel like people tend to almost not focus on their own feelings and their own thoughts and what they're going through and how they're feeling. And people need to spend more time figuring out how they feel and what they want. And I'm guilty of that too, right? But I found that with me doing more research on that and me asking myself those questions, I'm finding more about what makes me happy. Like, what do I want to focus on? Where do I want to be? What do I want to put my attention on? Okay, we have Lovers, which is that relationship, that connection with people, and that's right below the Four of Wands. Working together in relationships, whether it's a friendship, it's a partnership, working together in relationships and having that communication is very important. Listening to your inner self, knowing, what do you feel about love? What do you feel about relationships? What do you feel about, what are your feelings? What are your thoughts? What are your perspectives? Ask yourself those questions. I know it may sound silly, but once you start doing that, if you're just open to those, the judgment, you're open to those things and writing it down, and you start to explore and you start to find more out about yourself. And when you have relationships with people, you're able to explain to other people, okay, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what I feel. These are the things that are important to me, these are the things that are not important to me, this is what I need in a relationship. Taking things one day at a time, one situation at a time, one moment at a time, and figuring out those things one by one as to what is important to you. What makes you happy? Focusing on those happy things, right? Trying different things. Is there a book? It's like Unfogging the Future or something like that. I don't know. For some reason that just came to mind. But I almost feel like it's clearing up those, maybe you're not even sure what this future brings you, right? Maybe you're not even sure the direction that you want to go in your life. But ask yourself those questions, right? How do I feel about relationships? How do I feel about the people that I have surrounded myself with? How do I feel about that? Thinking, processing, analyzing. I feel like it's kind of analyzing that inner self here. Because what's holding you back is that you're holding on to things from the past. And that could be the key, is asking yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions. Analyzing how you're feeling. Analyzing you. Asking yourself those things. If you're focusing on 3 spilt cups, what are those? And why are you focusing on that? Six of Swords, moving forward to calmer waters, but you're always going to have these challenges in life. You're always going to have these things that are going to pop up. You're always going to have these things that come up. And realizing, or kind of knowing, okay, this is how I need to handle this. This is how I have to deal with it. Or I know that these things are going to happen, so I'm not going to let them affect me as much as they used to affect me. I feel like that brings the relationship between yourself closer, and it brings the relationship that you have with other people or your partner closer too. Because how is someone else supposed to tend to your needs if you're not sure what it is that you need? All right. Let's close out with an animal oracle. Something to think about. Well, the cards are just falling out all over today. All right, we have crow spirit, co-create with spirit. I feel like that's the Judgment card, opening your eyes. The universe is trying to show you things. The universe is trying to tell you things. The universe is trying to give you those signals, those signs, and to work together with that to see where that goes. And just like this reading, if I've asked some questions and you're like, I don't really know the answer to that, right? So that could be a sign too. It's like, okay, well, let me do that. Let me grab a piece of paper. Let me write these things down. Or just in my head, let me think about that. And I feel like it's there's that one thing that kind of lights that light bulb that starts to push you in that direction of really doing that self-discovery. And I feel like that's what gets the ball rolling to really start moving forward into new directions. And I feel like that really changes everything. That's why I'm just kind of hoping that, you know, with each reading, you know, maybe there's something that you pick up, or you never know who's watching and they just hear that one thing and that clicks for them and they're like, yeah, you know what, that's something. And then that gets the ball rolling to expand that. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.